Welcome to the Danny Clinkscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Insightful and witty commentary, probing interviews, and detours from the beaten path.
Welcome to Arts and Lifestyle Wednesday, presented by Cinematic Visions, and another edition of Danny and Tim's Music Scene. Always eclectic, always enjoyable. Tim Finn is a wonderful companion on this particular podcast, and you can hear him at 90.9 The Bridge, and his Facebook page is great, as I always reiterate, and it's a pleasure to have him here every couple of weeks, and we always are eclectic, but we might be even stretching the boundaries even more this time around with some new phenomenons and interesting younger performers, at least for this podcast. But we've got old folks home as well, looking at some concerts, some great artists who are putting out new material. A couple of references to articles in The Guardian, which I always mention is a fantastic place for musical reading. If you contribute a couple of bucks, you won't have to do anything else, and you can read every Friday. Great stuff about music, not just in the UK, but here. And we've got all kinds of people to visit with, from Childish Gambino to Chappel Roan, Karen Dalton, as well as Steve Winwood, Elle King, Awerosmith, The Pretenders, Gillian Welch, and Dave Rawlings. Had enough for you? We'll get to it coming up next. All kinds of topics and fun to be had right here on Arts and Lifestyle Wednesday, presented by Cinematic Visions, and another edition of Danny and Tim's Music Scene.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
Cinematic Visions has been an affordable solution for professional media production in Kansas City since 2003, offering award-winning video production and creation, as well as a wide array of digital and social media management services. From planning, scripting, filming, editing, and post-production, to delivering your product to a watching world, Cinematic Visions will provide professional and affordable services for you and your business with the necessary return on investment to make it all worthwhile. Cinematic Visions' goal is to unlock the power of storytelling through video and a strong online presence for your company. Beyond the numbers, they want to inspire and evoke your clients to feel and act. Let my friends at Cinematic Visions embed your brand where it belongs, in your customers' minds. You can find them online at cinematicvisions.com or with a quick phone call at 816-600-6300.
Did you experience hail damage last year and never got the work done? Most insurance companies only give you a year to get the roof fixed, and if you don't get it done, you could possibly not be compensated in full for the replacement of your roof. If you've been procrastinating getting that damaged roof taken care of, give us a call at 913-257-5426, and we'll send out an expert to help you through the process. We're never pushy, we're just here to help. Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
If you'd like to join these and other fine sponsors and market your business to Kansas City's #1 variety podcast, contact us at danny@dannyclinkscale.com. Look forward to working with you. Welcome back, and there's just a certain amount of people, although it seems to be more maybe these days, who can sell out arenas, and one of those would be one Childish Gambino, who actually is Donald Glover, who's an actor and producer and just about everything else, and for the past few years he's been Childish Gambino with his own unique style of sort of, high-range pop, rap, music. I listened to a couple today. I found them kind of catchy, not like I haven't heard it before. Anyway, he performed on Monday at Sprint Center. It was the second leg of a 55-date tour, which is his swan song as Childish Gambino. I don't know what his next personality is going to be, but anyway, he's got a huge following. He's a multi-talented person, and he sold out Sprint Center, and he's one of those people who tries to reinvent things, Tim, and be different things to different people and in different genres. Quite a talented guy.
Yeah. By the way, T-Mobile would like a word with us. T-Mobile Center.
I went old school there.
Mm-hmm. It's always Sandstone. It's always yeah.
T-Mobile Center. There you go, T-Mobile. It's they're my phone company, so I better do that, or I'll my bill will go
up. Right. Just more information I don't need to cram in my head. So yeah, he is all over the place. Just one of those guys who is like unfairly talented and does everything really well, provocatively, uniquely, And so this was only the second show of the tour. It opened in Oklahoma City on Saturday. I didn't go. His music is like, it's hip hop, it's funk, it's indie pop, it's R&B and soul. It's just kind of all over the place. He's one of those artists who absorbs a lot of music, and all that music finds its way into his compositions. And, I put him up there. He doesn't have maybe the catalog because he does so many other things as Prince, but I think in many ways he's as creative and unique as Prince is. Prince is on Mount Rushmore for me, so
right.
I'm not saying he's at that level yet, but man, he's one of those really dynamic and artistic, creative people who doesn't go into something unless he's certain and confident that it's going to be memorable. And like I told you before, my stepson, who's 20, came in from Manhattan, where he's living, to go to the show and go back home, and he was blown away by how good it was, but also the visuals and how guys like him are so smart and so involved in technology and stuff. It's hard to surprise them, especially visually, and he was like, I saw stuff I'd never seen before. So he's ahead of that curve. He's just always does everything Childish Gambino does, kind of full speed ahead. But I guess I'm so out of the loop. I didn't even know about the show until my wife told me that Dorian was coming in to go to it. So, and I guess it sold out. It was nearly sold out. So, like you said, I'm interested because he just put a record out not too long ago, a new record. And, so he's just one of those people who's always interested in what he's going to do and, next. And, we'll see, but this is, he's going out or putting to rest this character, in style.
He is indeed, and they mentioned the visual presentation, and that certainly is a big part of the presentation of Chappel Roan, who I'm just becoming familiar with. It's one of the joys of doing this particular podcast is I try to look for different things, and I absorbed some of her material over the last couple of days. It's sort of, I don't know, lightweight, catchy pop, but it's packaged in a, I guess, sort of Lady Gaga-ish way. She has great appeal in the LGBTQ community, does a lot of drag stuff, and encourages drag performers to open for her. That is not her real name. Her real name is Kaylee Anschutz, and she was born in Willard, Missouri, which is near Springfield, and had a very conservative background and didn't like it, and has transformed her life. She actually was signed originally sort of as a indie pop sour singer, and that didn't work, and she's reinvented herself, still only 26 years old. And today, when I was kicking around looking for music news, which I always do, she's everywhere, and and she got new recordings out. I don't know if they're albums or singles or whatever. And I can't say the music's great, but it's catchy, and I think she's a fine performer and a real sensation. I mentioned The Guardian in the intro, big article about her in the latest sleeve notes. She is becoming one of these sensations of the moment. Whether it will last for a long time, that's and be Lady Gaga-ish or passing fancy, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, so I was eating a meal at a bar restaurant just a few days ago, watching Olympics, and I had my headphones in or my earbuds in because it keeps away small talk, and I can hear my own music. But but I could tell that everyone at the bar started singing to the song, and I could kind of hear it through my earbuds, and then took my earbuds off, and sure enough, it was one of her songs. And it was, granted, like every time I go into a bar, most people are younger than me, but so there were younger people in the bartenders, but there were people in their like 30s and 40s who knew the song. So she is going crazy like wildfire. And I know that I posted a picture they had to move her set at what was the big festival in Chicago?
Yeah, the Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza, yeah.
Right.
It looked like the Beatles were playing there. Like it was she probably, I don't know if it would have filled.
Yeah, they said it was the largest crowd they ever had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was many tens of thousands of people. So I was told she pronounces it Chappelle, like Dave Chappelle. I don't
Well,
know,
and maybe Jimmy Fallon got it wrong, because I watched a video with him introducing her, and he said Chappell,
Yeah,
so
well,
he could have been wrong too. So I'm taking his cue. If I'm wrong, Jimmy Fallon's wrong too. So that's good company.
Or then you'd think she would have corrected him. Yeah, so we'll go with that. I don't know. You could probably find it both ways online. So,
Right.
But yeah, she's from a town that's closer to the Arkansas border than it is to Kansas City. And like you said, she grew up on Christian rock in a pretty strict Christian home, but her parents were, I think her dad was an ICU nurse in the burn unit of a hospital. Her mother does something also medically. So she came from an environment that was, they were Christian, but they were also sort of the way Billie Eilish's parents were, a little bohemian, but, definitely there was religion in the background. So, yeah, she revolted and tried a couple things, and this has just gone crazy. And I like the music a lot. It is, it's like Lady Gaga. It's
Pinkish,
almost
also like, maybe.
Yeah, in the little Cyndi Lauper, there's that whole girls want to have fun vibe, but the lyrics are a little more serious. She gets into, writing about the torment of being a teenager, which immediately connects with an audience. And she does do the drag queen and the LGBT, thing. And her costumes are kind of like Gaga or York, just super weird. And so she's figured out that you have to entertain people theatrically, visually, talking about going back to Childish Gambino. It's like, you can't just go out there and sing your music anymore, especially if you're in a big venue. So she's worked that out, but it's really kind of insane how fast this has happened. And, I read some things about it. Like, this doesn't seem like it's going to be fleeting, because like Billie Eilish, she's smart. And even Taylor Swift, you know your audience and you address them, and you do it provocatively with a big show, and you make it look sincere and honest, which it all is. So she's probably one to bet on is going to be around for a while. This doesn't feel fleeting, because it looks so great, and she seems so honest about it. And
also her background is that, she's a songwriter. Some people aren't really and also she knows how to do silly stuff. She chastised an audience the other day because they wouldn't do her Hot to Go dance. There's a song, Hot to Go, and it's a simple little dance like the YMCA or something. It's exactly like the YMCA, actually, and you spell out Hot to Go, I guess. So anyway, she's got a lot of different things in her toolbox.
Yeah, and what's really funny, one of my daughters, I was asking about her, and she sent me this video of this guy. It was on a talk radio show. I'm assuming it was like a sports talk radio. And he was wearing his ball cap backwards and was kind of being a talk radio
bro,
sport jock guy. Yeah, but he was kind of lamenting, like, oh, God, why can't I not stop listening to this, or her? And so it's like, yeah, you look at some of the shots from Lollapalooza, and it's like the crowd is like everywhere. It's she also reminds me, there's a band called Scissor Sisters that are just like that, really flamboyant. They attract the LGBT crowd. So when you're in one of those shows, you really get a sense of the breadth of pop music, the pop music world, and people who love good music, catchy music, sing along, dance along. And she's like right in the middle of that right now.
Well, certainly a different switch right now. The Guardian also featured a lengthy article, which I highly recommend, with Gillian Welch, who with Dave Rawlings performs, and sometimes it's his album, sometimes it's her album, but they are collaborators. And it's a fantastic article and talks about associations with John Paul Jones, the drummer who's played in Dave Rawlings' band in the past. They have a new album out. She has great association with Bob Dylan. And so it's been one of these musicianship type of journeys where the person is never really super famous, but is famous for the longevity and breadth of talent and career.
Right, and still cultivating and maintaining a really devoted audience, because they'll